Learning guitar can be sometimes very hard, especially when you don't have anybody to teach you or show you the right way to go. And you end up messing up with videos on the internet. But don't worry, we got you covered. Here at the Musicians Lab, we teach you right from the start the way to go. So if you now discover the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we are starting right now. Today we are going to have an overview of what a major tonality is, because everything we do it in a key, we do it in a tonality, which means our chord progression and everything we play in music is based on a key. And today we are going to see the major tonality, so the different levels of the major tonality. That is where you should start when learning music. You should know what is a tonality, because everything we are going to learn, like note, chords, or chord progression, or improvisation, comes from the tonality, right? And this morning we are going to learn the tonality in a SOFA system. SOFA, which means instead of calling each chord with its right name, which means G, for example, G will then be called our Do. So we are going to learn these different levels of the tonality in a SOFA system, and we are going as well to associate numbers to each degrees of the tonality. Taking our example in C, in the major tonality of C, we are going to find the 7 different degrees of the key of C. The first degree is C, and it's called the root. The second is D, and it's called the second. And the third degree is E, it's called the third. The fourth degree is F. The fifth degree is G. The sixth degree is A, and the seventh is B. I said earlier that we are going to learn these chords into a SOFA system, which means instead of calling C, C, we are now going to call C, Do. And D will be Re. And E will be Mi. And F will be Fa. And G will be Sol. And A will be La, and B will be T. Instead of saying C, D, E, F, G, A, B, we are going to say Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. Now we are going to associate numbers to the different degrees that we just discovered. So C, being the root of the key, will be given number 1. And D, which is Re also in SOFA system, which is Re, will be given number 2, because it's the second note of the key. And E, which is Mi, will be also given 3rd. So it will be called the 3rd, or it will be called 3. And F, which is the 4th, will be given 4, which is also called Fa in SOFA system. And our So will be given 5. Okay. La, which is A, will be given 6. Okay. And T here, which is B, will be given 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the reason why when you are playing chord progression, instead of saying maybe Fa, So sometimes we'll be using numbers. So when we say 4, we are talking about Fa. When we say 3, we are now talking about 3. So instead of telling somebody we are playing Fa here, you just tell him we are playing 4. So you can just tell him this and he knows what you are talking about. So these are how we can link numbers of the degrees to the chords we are playing. So we never say now, so we won't feel like saying C. We'll rather say 1. Then the person listening to us know already what we are talking about. So when we say 3, we are talking about me. When we say 5, we are talking about so. When we say 7, we are talking about T. So that's how it goes. So now that we know the different degrees, we know the different levels of the major tonality, now we are going to find this different or these 7 levels in forms of chords. Now let me remind you, or let me inform you of the fact that in a major tonality we have three major chords, okay, and we have 3 minor chords and 1 diminished chord, which means these 7 levels that we just learned, some of them are major and some of them are minor, all to fit into the major tonality. So in the major tonality, or in the key of C, the Do, which is the number 1, okay, is major, and the Fa, which is the number 4, is also major, and the Sol, which is number 5, is also major. Okay, so C, which is the number 1, is major. F, which is Fa, which is the number 4, is also major, and So, which is G, which is the number 5, is also major. So in the major tonality, these are the 3 chords that are major. Now let's discover how to build those major chords. Building chords is understanding harmony, because a single tone, okay, put together with another single tone make now 2 tones, and they sound better, or they create another feeling or another sound that sounds different than using 1 tone. So an assembly of 2 or more tones is called a chord. So if I put Do here together with Mi, that's going to be Do, Mi, and Do, Mi is going to form an harmony, and that harmony is a chord and will be then called the C major chord. Now that we know the different degrees of this major tonality or this major key, and we know as well the SOFA system, which is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, now we are going to find the major chords. Okay, remember I said earlier that the Do, which is the 1, the Fa, which is 4, and the 5th, which is So, are the major chords in a major tonality. So the 1, 4, 5 are major. So let's find these 3 chords. Starting with C major, we are going to find the harmony that creates the chords of C major. Harmony is putting 2 notes together to make a chord. That is what we call harmony. So a tone is not an harmony, but a tone plus another tone creates an harmony. So we are going to find the notes that form the chord of C. Major chords in a major tonality are based on triad. What is a triad? It's the assembly of 3 notes to make 1 chord. So the triad of C is C, E, and G. So which will be, the triad of C will be made of Do, Mi, So to make the chord of C. Okay? So our C will be made of Do, Mi, So, and we are going to play now the chord of C. Now let's play the chord of C together, okay? The ring finger will be on the 1, 2, 3, okay, the 3rd fret. So here, this is the 5th string, and the middle finger will go on the 2nd fret here, 1, 2, on the 4th string, okay? That's where we are going to pick our Mi. So we have now Do and Mi, and then the 3rd string will be an open string, so no finger is going to touch that string. And then the 5th string here will be on the 1st fret. Okay, so our index finger will be on the 1st fret on the 2nd string. And then the last string, which is the smallest string, will be an open string, so that will be E. So we have now, this is our chord, major chord of C. Moving to the next chord, I told you there are 3 major chords, so we've already played one, which is Do. We are moving now to Fa. So to play F major on a guitar, you take the ring finger, okay, and put it on the 4th string, counting upward, okay, the 4th string, on the 3rd fret here, 1, 2, 3, and the middle finger on the 3rd string, on the 2nd fret, 1, 2, so your middle finger will be here, okay, and then your index will be on the 2nd string on the 1st fret, so that will be, and your index finger is going to be on both strings, the 1st and the 2nd string on the 1st fret here, so it's going to cover both of them this way, okay, and then your middle finger will go on the 3rd string on the 2nd fret, and then your ring finger will go on the 4th string on the 3rd fret. So you are going to have something like this. Okay? This is how you can actually play Fa or F major. Moving to the last major chord of the tonality, or the major key, the major tonality, our last major chord will be G major. So let's play G major. Moving with the same step, to find G major is actually very easy, because moving with the same step we did for F or for Fa, we can find Sol as well by sliding, a tone from Fa or from F. So you can slide a tone, this is a half tone and this is a tone here, and with the same technique you can find your Sol or you can find your G major. So you have your index finger here on both strings here, 1st and 2nd, your middle finger on the 3rd string, okay, on the 4th fret, and then you have your ring finger on the 4th string, which is also on the 5th fret. So exactly the same technique with F major. To avoid making a long video, we are going to stop here for today. So today we had a basic overview on the tonality. We also discovered that in the major tonality, there are 3 major chords, 3 minor chords, and 1 diminished chord. And for today, we learned the 3 major chords, which are the 1, which is Do, which is C, and the 4th, which is Fa, and then the 5th, which is Sol. So we learned how to play C major chord, F major chord, and G major chords. For the next time, we are going to see how to play the 3 minor chords and the diminished chord as well. Until our next video, make sure you stay connected to the Musician Lab. If you now discover the channel, make sure you subscribe, comment, and share as well. Until our next video, stay safe, peace.